Okay. Okay. So we are live. Right, guys. Hello, guys. How are you? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chandra. Good afternoon, Navya. Anushka, welcome. Good afternoon. So, welcome. So, let your friends also join. We shall start then. Harshita, welcome. Sanjay, welcome. Good afternoon. So, this is a very, uh, complex timing about me. The time I stream is like the time where you should be having lunch and those things, maybe brunch. Anyway, Hashita, good afternoon, welcome. Nishant, yo, welcome. Viviana, good afternoon. Keetana, good afternoon, welcome. Adil, welcome. Hashita, welcome. How are you guys? Good afternoon, Harsha. Alright, guys. Hello, Pramod. Nitin, welcome. So I hope all of you are doing well, taking care of yourself. Jashish, welcome. Alright, guys. Aditya, welcome. Good afternoon. Okay, so I would like to start with one scenario. Ananya, welcome. Hello. How is everyone doing? Okay, I would like to start with one scenario. Like you are aware. Okay, we are having some imposters also. Right. Fine. Jashish. Fine. Right, guys. So as you know, I was reading some article today about how YouTube has capped its video services from standard definition from high definition or 4K to standard definition also. Even this Netflix has capped. Okay, so the thing is why they're doing this. There is a lot of load uh, in terms of consumption because so many people are staying at home. They are consuming so much of this data. See, they are watching these series and so on. Now, it has resulted in some kind of a security concerns also. There is the concerns of cyber security and how to use the networks for the people who are working in IT. Let's say there are let's say in India itself there will be like 15 to 20% of the total population, maybe more, are working in IT, right? Now the thing is they are all working from home, right? So some organization they are already prepared to uh, in this worst case where this can happen. Welcome Ranjini, welcome Fatima, Pallai, welcome Nitish, welcome Ritesh, welcome. Good afternoon. Right. So I was telling about, yeah, some organization was prepared for this worst case. Purnima, welcome. But there are some organization who were just like startups who don't have, you know, the security, overall security to provide the users or overall functioning of their organization itself to allow all to the case where all the employees are working from the home. And when something like that happens, there's a concern for the security personals or the network organization, sorry, organization's network department. to maintain that security between the employee who is working offline and they're also interacting with the company's data. So for that, what is required, we know the thing is, it's virtual private network. Using virtual private network, employees of the organization can connect to the company's data. But would have recently seen this. There are a lot of attackers who's taking advantage of this crisis and sending malwares, cyber security, cyber crimes they are doing. They're sending a lot of malwares. Like you would have seen the example of what is that, imposters UPI IDs. Like we had like PM relief fund, there was some kind of a UPI IDs, right? Now we have seen so many fake IDs of the which looks very similar, right? These are nothing but some kind of attacks itself. Now this I would like to quote one of the statement sent by principal security researcher at Kaspersky. The Kaspersky is the leading security organization. Now why I'm saying this, because you can see who's the most important person in IT now is the person who can provide cyber security solutions. So like network security manager or network security personals, they are the most important part, or the personals in an organization right now in IT. It's not the AI thing, it's not the machine learning thing, it's the security to provide security. Is the Those personals are the most important now. So you can know by that how important that position is right now, or in this kind of crisis, and what could be the future of these kind of jobs. It will be very important. It's a very high or very good pace, first of all, and we are the most important personal in this kind of scenario, right? Right, guys? So welcome, guys. Menka, welcome. I missed out some names. Nikhil, welcome. Divya, Kim, welcome. Navya, welcome. Right. So I would like to quote one of the statement mentioned by him. So he told, the researcher from Kaspersky, he told, they are seeing increased number of people connecting remotely to corporate networks, putting additional pressure on the already strained IT and security infrastructure. It is already strained and there is more pressure to it. Now, many organizations are not geared up for the people to work from home, and thus are trying to understand the challenges in real time. Under exceptional circumstances, once a device is taken outside the organization network, it is connected to the networks and the risks are broadened and increased, right? And cyber criminals are taking advantage of these things. So that is why when we study this kind of subject, cryptography, cyber security, it's very important to know ins and out of this, so that if you get a chance to be on this kind of position, it will be very easier for you. So good afternoon, Aishwarya. Good afternoon, Supriya. Welcome. Welcome, guys. So back to our topic, authentication. So if you recall, what we were studying in the last class was KDC, key distribution center, right? Also we talk about one protocol called as Needham-Schroeder protocol. Okay, so we'll just recall what exactly that was. Not this. Yeah. So if I ask you what exactly is this KDC, it's a key distribution center, first of all, right? So hold on. Okay, so also we uh, learned some of the things like long-term secret, short-term secret. What exactly those two are? Basically, there are multiple users. KDC, first of all, is a trusted third party that is used to grant some uh, fresh session key to the users who wish to communicate with each other. Okay, these fresh session keys are nothing but your short-term secret. So what exactly is a long-term secret? Long-term secret is a function of the password which is exclusively shared by that particular user with the KDC, key distribution center. Now, how to achieve keys distribution? There are two protocols. First protocol we discussed was Needham-Schroeder protocol. In Needham-Schroeder protocol, we saw three preliminary version. Each of the version was violated or prone to some kind of a attack. First version was prone to man in the middle attack. Second version was prone to man in the middle attack as well as replay attack. Third version was prone to replay attack. So what about the final version? Okay, so we saw the diagram, but we didn't actually read everything about it. So see the diagram here. So how we can overcome the problems of attacker X imposing as A or B during the times when he wants to attack here. So basically the problem in the previous versions could be fixed if party B were allowed to choose a random number nonce. Let us call it as R4. If you see this part here, someone gave me a suggestion to use some kind of markers while explaining. So I don't exactly have that resource, but I think this is visible, right? So include or choose a random number R4, and the same nonce were enclosed by this KDC in the ticket it generates. Now, when I say something like ticket it generates, what exactly is that ticket mean? What the meaning of ticket? So basically, ticket is a mechanism which is used to safely distribute your session keys. If you want to remember that, you can note it down, or you can just remember ticket is the mechanism used to generate session keys. Now, see the diagram here. There are seven messages here, but it's very simple. If I tell you about what is happening here, in the message one, you can see the identity of A and B is sent from A to B, right? In the second, a random number R4 nonce or R4 is generated from B. In the message 3, it is being sent from A to which one? It is being sent to KDC, not B. So A forwards is challenge as R3. Okay, you can see there is both R3 challenge from A to B as well as R4, which was previously enclosed. Okay, and what is the meaning of that? Why we are enclosing R4 here? Because same nonce R4 will be enclosed by KDC for the purpose of generating the ticket. Okay, so message 4 here, this part here, it generates a ticket and includes R4. Now all the things are happening here. Fifth message, and about the sixth and seventh is the same thing what we have seen in previous version. It's the same thing, decrementation. Now this part here, fifth message. So what is happening here? When the B receives this ticket in the message 5, B can verify the random number or nothing but nonce that is generated in the message 2 is or that is same or not. Basically, it is verifying the R4. B is verifying the R4 whether it is same as what is being used before. So that is how you will make a this one final version of Needham-Schroeder protocol. All right, welcome guys. Good afternoon, Manu. What's up? Good afternoon. Right, guys. So next thing is Kerberos. Okay, we must talk about Kerberos. Okay. So basically, what exactly is Kerberos? Let's consider a scenario where multiple users and there are multiple servers. What we have seen before in Needham-Schroeder protocol, multiple users, one key distribution center. Here there are multiple users as well as multiple servers. So user that is once logged in, he may wish to access different resources such as emails, file server. Okay, so one possibility for the user is to have multiple passwords for each of this. There are multiple users. Okay. Okay, there are multiple users and there are multiple servers as well. I'm just taking as for here. So each user may communicate with any of the server. So for each server, user have multiple passwords. Okay, so human, what happens, human remember and update multiple passwords, right? I mean, remembering and updating multiple passwords is not practical for a human. So a user could use the same password for all server, but distributing and maintaining the password file across multiple servers is a concern for your security. So what can be done? Okay, this concept is clear, right? Why is Kerberos? So so what happens? There is a requirement how, or password based system should ensure few things. So what are the few things, guys? Jashish, please don't block me, I came here to see. All right, guys, so this again we have a perfect example of an imposter. It's not Jashish, but he's trying to be Jashish. Anyway, right, guys, so a password, what are the requirement? Password should not be transmitted in the clear, means it should not be sent how it is. It should be encrypted, should be made as a hash, sorry, cryptographic hash should be added to it, and so on. It should not be possible to launch any kind of dictionary attacks, either online or offline. The password, and the next requirement is the password itself should not be stored on authentication server, rather it should be cryptographically transferred before it's stored. Let's say there is something called as authentication server. Okay, and passwords are being stored here. So before storing the password, you have to add some pass to the password. Let's say 123 hash. You have to add some extra bits, some cryptographic hash to it, and then you store it in the authentication server. All right, guys. Now a user enters her password only once during login. Okay, she should not have like re-enter her password to access other servers for the duration of the session. This feature is called as your single sign-on. Okay, these are the requirements. It's very important. Then password should reside on the machine only for few milliseconds after being entered by the user. Right. So this Kerberos, first of all, what exactly is Kerberos and what it does? It is developed at MIT, and when it was developed, it has gone through many revisions. Now, what Kerberos version we are talking about? Like just like we have Windows version, Windows 2003, Vista, XP, Windows 7, 8, and Windows 10. We have versions just like Android. We have Kerberos versions also. Now we are talking about Kerberos version 5. Okay, this is the current version of Kerberos 5. Now, so the KDC, how it is different, how Kerberos is different from Needham-Schroeder protocol. Kerberos is also a protocol. How it is different from Needham-Schroeder protocol? Okay, KDC, the KDC, this part KDC is which is used in Needham-Schroeder protocol. It is split into two entities here. Let's say this is KDC. It is split into two entities, that is your authentication server and TGS, that is nothing but your ticket granting server. What is ticket? We know it. Ticket is a mechanism to used to safely distribute session keys. Now user A shares a secret. Okay, these things we'll learn here. Okay, one more thing, Kerberos also make use of timestamp. We know what is the meaning of timestamp is the alternate method to check the freshness of the random number. Okay, fine. So see the diagram here, Kerberos. This is a sure question. Sometimes it's asked like explain Kerberos and or explain Kerberos message sequence in detail for 8 marks, right? right guys? So just hold on, let me take a snapshot of this. Right guys, right. Any question until now, please let me know. Right guys, so basically okay, so what this diagram shows, the sequence of messages exchanged between the client and the Kerberos servers. So what is the Kerberos servers does? As you see the diagram here, see the diagram here, KDC is split into authentication server and ticket granting server. That forms your Kerberos server, right? Okay. Now, the sequence of message exchange between client C and the Kerberos server AS and TGS, and one more server that is called as S. S is nothing but your requested server. Okay, Kerberos is not the server who is providing the service. It is only providing the authentication, granting ticket, or use of session keys for the particular period of time. But your client might want to communicate with another server, original server, that is your S, client and server. Okay, this is clear. Okay, so what happens basically in Kerberos, it is actually divided into 3 steps. Kerberos is the message sequence is divided into 3 steps, with each steps having 2 sub-steps. You can see that 1 and 2, that is your step 1. Then you have step 2. Then you have step 3. So what is included in step 1? Step 1 is basically your receipt of ticket granting ticket. Okay, very carefully you have to learn. C is requesting, client is requesting what? Ticket granting ticket. It is communicating to AS, and it is receiving what? It is receiving ticket granting ticket. So what is the next step? Next step is receipt of service granting ticket. Okay, first we had was ticket granting ticket. Now we have service granting ticket. Okay, so C requests service granting ticket, and C receives serving granted ticket, as well as one more thing that is called as your session key. See the part here, it is getting session key also. Now after it has received session key, it has received the service granted ticket, C then authenticate itself to the original server where he wants to communicate or get the service from, and then S also authenticates himself to C. That is how Kerberos message sequence takes place. Okay, so I would like to show you one more thing. Basically, this is not enough to write. Actually, you will have to write this. So when we talk about Kerberos, you have to write this message sequence and these steps. What is happening in step 1 is receipt of ticket granting ticket. C is communicating to authentication server, and step 2 is authentication is server is communicating to client. And what is happening? These things. What extra we have inside, that is also you have to mention, and this as well. So these nodes, what exactly is there? I just explained to you. These things I have already shared in the drive, that Google Classroom drive. If you want to refer to these nodes, you can always join that classroom group, and there you have all the direct access to these kind of nodes. Okay, that's about it. Now next thing, the last topic that we are going to discuss after Kerberos. Kerberos is very important, guys. Kerberos is like asked for 8 or 10 marks every time. Okay, right guys, so the last topic here today we are going to discuss here is biometrics, which is very easy. So we have something called as biometrics. Okay, so what is that biometrics? Can you give me an example of biometrics? Have you seen faculties doing some thumb, thumb related, what do you call it? What do you call it as? Punching in, punching out every day. That is nothing but you're authenticating it yourself, right? That you have, this is time you have login, and this time you're logging out, right? That is nothing but your physical biometrics, right? Okay, that's one example of saying it, right? Aadhaar. Good. Yes. Good afternoon, Pujita. Yeah, that is fine. That is perfect example. It's nothing but you have your okay, before you have gone to have your Aadhaar, you have also had this fingerprints on the device. Your I don't know, facial face also was recognized. That is some kind of a biometric done, right? And there are multiple ways of authentication. This thumbprints, maybe what is that, face recognition, maybe iris recognition. Okay, all those things are example of that. Now see, okay, right. So by definition I can tell fingerprint scan. Yeah, okay, good. So a biometric is a biological feature or characteristics of a person that is uniquely identifies him or her over his lifetime, right? And that is okay, one more time we have this. So, right. So right, very good. So and once this thing is done, I don't know if how many of you seen that movie. What is the name of that movie where we had Hrithik Roshan and Tiger Shroff? Recently, it has come, right? I forgot the name itself. Okay, I don't remember. What was the name of the movie? War. I think War it was. So where you remember in that movie, that Tiger Shroff died. All his authentication was removed. I mean, or the guy who impersonated as that guy of Tiger Shroff, he was, uh, he was what is that, transplanted, a facial transplantation was done, and he was made to be, imposing as Tiger Shroff, right? Sorry for the spoilers if you have not seen that movie, right? So basically this thing, this biometric, usually once you have done this thumbprint on the device, it stays there for, thank you guys, thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, it stays for their lifetime, your whole lifetime, right? All right, guys. So common forms of biometrics includes your face recognition, as I was mentioning, voice recognition, manual signatures, fingerprints. Most recently, it is like iris identification, or some places they will use DNA identification itself. Maybe in some movies we have seen those kind of features, right? So what is biometric? It's an alternate for your passwords. Writing username and password, that is one thing, one form of authentication. Biometrics, physical authentication, is one other thing. So passwords are based on what a user knows and what a person has. But a biometric, on the other hand, is identity of a person based on her physiological and behavioral characteristics. Okay, so there are two process in biometrics. Very simple. First, before having your biometrics to use it, you have to enroll yourself, right? How they even in Atria or many in the other colleges, what they're doing, they're replacing that thumbprint authentication by facial recognition, this what is that, identification. Now, so but it's not like they have replaced that thumbprint. They have done both the things. You can authenticate yourself by both the ways. If one fails, you can authenticate yourself other ways. But to have that done, they called everyone where the trial or the enrollment was done. That is nothing but your enrollment. Okay, and enrollment is done 2-3 times, so that if it should be like it should be perfectly accuracy should be 100%, right? Sometimes we will place our finger half or full or down like that, and we sometimes will stand far from the camera, close and sideways. We'll just, sometimes they will tell you to smile and all those things, right? How this smart devices work, like AI also works in the same way, right? To recognize. So, and that is nothing but you recognize. Once it is enrolled, you stand in front of that camera which is recognizing you. So they are using two different authentic very situations: authentication or identification, identification, verification. So how it is different? Biometric system stores login name and biometric sample, right? And once the login attempt is done, hello guys, a biometric sample such as a fingerprint of the user is taken, yes. Then the biometric sample is compared with the sample stored in the database or server. The user is authenticated only if the both of the the current version and the stored version matches. Whereas what is identity? It is not, subject's identity is not assumed or presumed to be known beforehand. It is assumed that the database of the biometric samples of the several users already exists, right? And whereas authentication involves one-to-one match, identification involves one to many, means I can be matched to several, there are so many. Once I have authenticated myself, I'm matching to one. Before authenticating is it's your identification. So what are the four characteristics of good biometrics? That is, three. Universality means all humans should be able to contribute to the sample of biometric. It's not like someone with some issues are not able to. Maybe someone will tell no, in no places, no devices can recognize my thumbprints and all. No, it should be good enough to do all those things. Uniqueness means, let's say, for each of the two different person, each person in the earth, the it should be unique. It means to say, and that how it is done by, it is distinguished by machine intelligence. Permanence means biometrics should not change over the time, just like we have seen in the war movie. It cannot change. Okay, so that's all actually from today's session. We have discussed KDC, we recall Needham-Schroeder protocol final version. Okay, and then we saw Kerberos is another protocol for your distribution of keys, key distribution center, and then we saw what is your biometrics. So that is about this total class. So guys, we are done for this class. Thank you for staying with me. I hope now you can go and have your lunch. Thank you guys. I will see you in the next stream, and please make sure you fill out the form, Google form, which I will be sending after this. And one more thing guys, thank you guys, and make sure you have joined that classroom group. If you haven't already, make sure you join the group. All the notes are available there. All right guys, Purnima, Yalapa, thank you everyone. Thank you Nitish, thank you Nishant, thank you Aishwarya, thank you everyone. Vishwaji, thank you. Pallavi, thank you. Ashwar, thank you. Menika, thank you. All right guys, see you later. Have a nice weekend. Anyhow, everyone is staying at the home, so all right guys, thank you guys, bye.